110 feet down, the search begins for a wartime ghost.
Sonar confirms a massive structure matching Liberty ship dimensions.
First visual contact reveals 70 years of ocean decay.
The torpedo strike that sent her down remains clearly visible.
The starboard side shows typical North Atlantic preservation conditions. Original 1943 military cargo remains sealed in her holds.
The bridge stands frozen in time since 1943. The recovery team assembles to assess the salvage operation. The steam propulsion system, the heart of Liberty ship design.
Recovery planning begins for this 3,000-ton engineering marvel. Heavy-duty chains rated for 5,000 tons begin the securing process. Teams work methodically to position primary lifting chains beneath the hull. Secondary ropes provide additional stability during the lift operation.
Surface operations coordinate with the underwater team 100 feet below.
Primary crane hook reaches the wreck site after careful descent.
Connection of the primary lifting system requires precise coordination and communication.
Forward lift point established near the torpedo damage site.
All primary attachment points secured, the ship is ready for extraction. Final seabed attachments must be severed before lifting begins. The lift operation begins with combined crane and aerial support. 3,000 tons begin their ascent from the ocean floor. 70 years of sediment releases as the hull breaks free. Divers escort the vessel through the water column, monitoring stability.
The Liberty ship section climbs towards sunlight for the first time since 1943.
The bow breaks surface after 8 decades on the ocean floor.
Aerial support provides critical stabilization during the final lift phase.
The full extent of wartime damage becomes visible as water drains away.
The original steam propulsion system emerges, corroded but structurally intact.
The massive cargo section hangs suspended between sea and sky. Precision placement onto the recovery vessel requires millimeter accuracy.
Deck crew conducts initial structural assessment before the journey to shore.
The convoy begins the 30-mile journey to Reykjavik Restoration Facility.
Original wartime cargo remains untouched since the torpedo strike.
The restoration facility specializes in wartime maritime recovery projects.
Docking procedures begin at Iceland's premier maritime restoration center. Shore cranes rated for 4,000 tons prepare for facility transfer. The Liberty ship section moves from vessel to shore facility.
The restoration facility houses the most advanced maritime conservation equipment in Europe.
Inside the facility, the true scope of restoration becomes clear. Initial placement complete. 8 months of intensive restoration work begins now. Structural engineers document every inch of corrosion before restoration begins. Assessment reveals 70 years of marine growth must be carefully removed.
High-pressure cleaning begins removing decades of ocean accumulation.
6,000 psi water pressure strips away the biological layer. Beneath marine growth, the true condition of the steel hull emerges. Manual removal required for barnacles that survived the pressure washing.
Systematic cleaning reveals the pattern of corrosion across the entire section.
The ship's identification markings are carefully preserved during cleaning.
The torpedo strike's devastating impact becomes starkly visible after cleaning.
Initial cleaning phase complete. The ship reveals her wounds, but also her resilience.
Ultrasonic testing measures steel integrity beneath decades of corrosion.
X-ray analysis reveals internal damage invisible to surface inspection.
Digital imaging identifies components requiring complete replacement versus repair.
Interior inspection reveals corrosion has penetrated throughout the structure. Torpedo blast analysis determines the extent of hull reconstruction required.
Non-destructive testing exposes stress fractures hidden beneath the rust layer.
Complete digital documentation creates a permanent historical record before restoration.
Thousands of rivets must be individually assessed for structural integrity.
Assessment complete. The restoration roadmap identifies 8 major phases over 8 months.
Strategic tagging guides the restoration sequence from most critical to cosmetic repairs. Sandblasting removes surface rust while preserving the underlying steel structure. Aluminum oxide abrasive strips away 70 years of oxidation.
Beneath the rust, pitted steel shows the ocean's permanent signature. Systematic sandblasting progresses section by section across the entire hull.
Hand grinding reaches areas inaccessible to sandblasting equipment.
Chemical conversion treatment neutralizes remaining rust and prepares surface for coating.
The triple expansion steam engine receives specialized cleaning, preserving historical components.
Halfway through rust removal, the transformation becomes dramatically apparent.
Historical markings are preserved through careful selective rust removal. With rust removed, the ship's steel skeleton stands ready for structural restoration. Structural repair begins at the catastrophic torpedo strike point.
Compromised steel sections are removed to create clean edges for repair.
Replacement hull section fabricated to exact historical specifications matches original Liberty ship design. Certified maritime welders execute critical structural welds meeting wartime construction standards. Continuous welding seals the new hull section, restoring structural integrity.
Historical accuracy requires hand-driven rivets matching 1943 construction techniques.
Internal structural members receive reinforcement welding throughout the vessel.
Completed welds are inspected using ultrasonic testing, verifying structural soundness.
Deck replacement restores load-bearing capacity for the cargo hold areas. Structural integrity restored. The ship's skeleton is once again sound. The Liberty ship's heart, the steam propulsion system, begins mechanical resurrection.
Decades underwater have severely damaged internal engine components, requiring complete replacement.
New pistons are precision machined to exact 1943 specifications. Intensive degreasing and cleaning prepares the engine block for reassembly. The steam distribution system requires complete repiping with corrosion-resistant materials. New pistons slide into place, beginning the engine's return to life. The valve timing system is meticulously rebuilt, ensuring proper steam distribution. The propeller shaft, restored and balanced, reconnects engine to propulsion system.
Modern safety systems are integrated while maintaining historical authenticity.
The steam engine restoration complete, ready to generate power once again. Marine-grade primer provides corrosion protection for decades of future service.
Multiple primer coats create a stable foundation for historical paint restoration.
Period-accurate paint formulas replicate the exact wartime appearance.
The distinctive Liberty ship gray, symbol of America's wartime maritime effort, returns.
The base coat complete, the vessel begins to regain her wartime dignity.
The ship's identification is restored with painstaking historical accuracy.
Marine-grade protective coating ensures longevity in harsh ocean conditions.
Every detail receives period-accurate restoration, from deck to superstructure. Final quality inspection confirms restoration meets both historical and operational standards. 8 months of intensive restoration complete. SS John W. Brown ready to sail again.
The restored Liberty ship section journeys to the harbor for operational trials.
First water contact in 70 years for this restored wartime vessel.
Flotation tests conferred structural integrity. The ship rides level and true.
The moment of truth. Will the restored steam engine return to life?
Steam pressure builds throughout the restored propulsion system.
The engine lives. 70 years after sinking, steam power returns!
Under steam power once again, the Liberty ship moves through Icelandic waters.
All systems perform within specifications. The restoration is a complete success.
Maneuvering trials confirm full operational capability and seaworthiness. Operational certification complete, ready to serve as a living museum and educational vessel. A wartime veteran returns to service as a living memorial.
From torpedo victim to restored treasure, an 8-month transformation complete.
Flying the colors once again, a symbol of resilience and restoration.
Now serving as an educational platform teaching new generations about Liberty ship history.
Visitors experience authentic wartime maritime engineering in operation. 70 years after her wartime service ended, she sails again with purpose. A tribute to the 2,710 Liberty ships built and the thousands who served aboard them.
Permanently stationed as a maritime museum, preserving history for future generations.
Each day brings new visitors to experience this remarkable piece of history.
From the depths of the Atlantic to operational museum, the SS John W. Brown sails on,